Blessed be everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to do a quick book review on the Encyclopedia of Spirits by Judika Illes. So this is a very similar sized book to the 5000 spell book by the same author. And it's just as much fun to read, and there's a lot of information in it. So I wanted to go through this book and just talk about what you'll find in it and how it can give you a good general education about all kinds of different spirits from many different pantheons. But before we do, I'm Sandra from MysteryWitchSchool.com, author of Crafting Your Wiccan Path. If you want to know more about Wicca and witchcraft, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss any videos. You'll also get videos here about magic, tarot, and shadow work as well. If you want to know where to start your witchcraft practice, but you just don't know what do I do at first, how do I get good at this, what do I need to know and learn, and when do I learn it, take a look at my free masterclass. It's called How to Start Your Witchcraft Practice. The link is in the description field below this video. With the Mystery Witch School, you can also join the academy here. So this is my 12-month course on Wicca and witchcraft. So that's actually getting guidance to get practicing the craft. It's not something that is just about learning in the head area. It's about actually getting practicing on a daily basis. So that information is in the description field below this video. And if you want to work one-on-one with me, that could be with shadow work or just to move through some things that are stopping you from truly living the life that you want to live, then you can also do that, and you can contact me in the description field below this video for that as well. So I just wanted to let you know that, because sometimes we can get stuck into videos without you knowing that there's other things that are out there for you too that I offer at Mystery Witch School. So this book here, called the Encyclopedia of Spirits, the ultimate guide to the magic of fairies, genies, demons, ghosts, gods and goddesses, is a truly beautiful book. What you'll find in this book, particularly at the beginning, is a lot of information about, or not really a lot of information, it's really general information about spirits in general. So how they have come through culture, the various different cultural aspects, particularly with Western culture, how they appear in the myths and folklore, in the media and in the arts, and in religion as well. All about how to work with spirits, looking at working with spirits and connecting with spirits as allies and spirit guides, communicating with spirits, what sort of offerings to give spirits and why we give offerings to spirits. I mean, offerings are really just a way of showing appreciation and gratitude. I've done a whole video on offerings, so if you want to find out more about giving offerings and why we give them, take a look at that video. I will put it in the description field below this one. There's also the different functions or different, what different spirits do. So various different spirits kind of have different specialties, much in the same way as we have different specialties. And so you'd go to those kind of spirits for whatever it is that you're wanting assistance with. Then, of course, most of the book is an A to Z of all of the various gods and goddesses, spirits, fae, the genies and demons as well in here. But I'd have to say the vast bulk of the spirits in here are gods and goddesses from all around the world. And you will get an insight into the context of which that god or goddess originated, and what some of the rituals and offerings are around that particular spirit as well. So I'm going to give you an example of some of the things that you'll find when you go in to look up a spirit. And I'm going to use the reference to Hecate as an example, because I think Hecate is probably one of the well-known goddesses, particularly one that we work with a fair bit at Witch School, and she also features in the Mystery Witch School 101 Academy course that I run. and has a total module associated with her. And when you look up a spirit in this book here, according to the various different spirits, there's going to be more information about some spirits than other spirits. Now, Hecate being very well known, being a goddess who appears in both Greek and Roman mythology, there's quite a lot of information about her. So when you look her up in this book, you will find that there's references to other names, so other names that she might be known as, or different spelling of a name. There's references to the origin of these spirits. So in this case with Hecate, it's Asia Minor. We know that Hecate really did originate more in the Anatolian region, which is modern-day Turkey, and then also gravitated towards both Greek and Roman mythology. There's then a fair bit of detail about what the deity does, a little bit more about some of their connections, if there's any connections known, and what sort of things they might be invoked for, or how people might work with them. For example, in here, Hecate is invoked when justice is not forthcoming from other channels, for example. Hecate has the power to grant or deny any mortal's wishes, yada, yada, yada. And this is all coming from the folklore and from the history of the deity. You'll also find that with a lot of the deities, if there's any particular people that are favoured or any particular occupations that are connected with the deity, that they'll be featured in here too. So in the case of Hecate, we've got midwives, witches, healers, herbalists, dog lovers, and rescuers, and she is the matron of women in general and protects those who ride horses. There's other different manifestations of the spirits as well. So in this case, it's we've got Hecate as Queen Witch, is a shapeshifter supreme. Usual manifestations are as a black dog or a mature woman, and then it will go into various other ways that the deity may manifest to people. Then there's the iconography. So this is how the deity appears in the art and literature throughout history. Various different attributes associated with the spirit. So in this case with Hecate, it's the key, the torch, the cauldron, the knife, and the broom. Now, I didn't know that she was associated with brooms, so that's something that I learned from this book, what her emblems are. And I didn't know she even had emblems. And according to this encyclopedia, her emblems are the star and the crescent moon. And we see that symbol pop up in the Middle Eastern region, even in modern day religion. There's also the spirit allies too. So Hecate may be venerated alongside of Artemis, Persephone, Demeter, and where they also appear with other deities. So if they are connected to other deities or work particularly with other deities, that information will be in here too. The sacred animals are also there in this book as well. So in Hecate's case, it's the snakes, the toads, dogs. They say here cats, but I don't know if that's necessarily historical, but I know in the more of a modern sense of Hecate, she's associated with cats. Then there's the birds that she's associated with, which from here is the stork. The colours, the numbers, we know that Hecate's number is 3. And the various different celestial bodies that the spirits may be associated with as well. Because a lot of spirits are associated with various different planets or stars. And in this case, it's Sirius, the dog star, and the moon, particularly, of course, the dark moon phase. There's also various different plants that the spirit will be associated with. So in Hecate's case, it's garlic, lavender, mandrake, and henna. And the trees that she's associated with, the pomegranate, the black poplar, the date palm, and the yew tree. If there's any references to be found about sacred sites, then that will be here too. So that'll be a little bit about the history of where their sacred sites are, or shrines would be. The time of the day in which that deity tends to be more active, or people tend to work with that deity. So in the case of Hecate, It's usually nighttime, although I've worked with her a lot during the day too, and it doesn't seem to make a difference, to be honest. The sacred dates of the year too that might be associated with the spirit and where they are. So for example, in Italy, Hecate shares a festival with Diana on the 13th of August. And a Friday the 13th in August is especially sacred, most likely probably for that reason. And then there's the 16th of November as Hecate night for modern Wiccans and neo-pagans. There's also the different rituals that might be associated with the deities or spirits themselves. So they talk here about, Hecate's supper or the dipnon. And then the offerings. So what sort of offerings the spirits like. So if you want to work with the spirit, you'll get an idea of maybe how to do a ritual of connecting to the spirit. In this case, there is one with Hecate, but it won't be the same for all of the spirits in here. The same with offerings. For most of the spirits, if there are traditional offerings, then they will turn up in this book. But if that information is difficult to get hold of, they're not in here. So in Hecate's case, it's eggs and garlic and honey, particularly lavender honey, which would be interesting to make that. And then there's also references here to other deities or other spirits that are connected to the spirit you're looking at. In this case, Artemis and other chthonic spirits, Diana, Dionysus, Hades, Hecate, Helios, and various other deities. So that's an example of the sort of information that you will get in this book, and that's just in relation to one deity, and that is Hecate. There's deities and spirits from all around the world and all sorts of different cultures in this book, and there's ones you'll never have heard of. At the back there is an appendix that gives you a little bit, it's not particularly broad, but it does give you an idea of the spirits and their specialties. So for example, if you're looking for a spirit that is helpful for alcoholism, for example, there's Ariadne, Dionysus and Maximum there. If you're looking for horse spirits, there's horse spirits here, fox spirits, cat spirits, spirits of death and dying or having a peaceful death. There will be spirits there that you can work with. And various different things. Again, it's alphabetical, so you can just go through and look up the alphabet. And that's pretty much it, but it is it's a great reference book to have in your bookshelf if you are a witch or a Wiccan and or just a pagan in general who works with various different deities. So it's a great book. It's the Encyclopedia of Spirits by Judika Illes, and I do recommend that you have it on your bookshelf. Now, if you want to learn Wicca and Witchcraft with me, I said at the beginning that I have a 12-month course that is designed to get you practicing the craft so that you do get to learn how to connect with the deities. You get a bit of an understanding of how to invite them in, how to do daily practice with them, as well as do energy work, set up a circle, working with your tools, working with the lunar energies and the sabbats, and of course various different types of magic. We do focus a lot on protection magic and money magic, but the module on magic can be used for any type of magic. So if you do want to start practicing the craft, take a look at the Mystery Witch School 101. The link is in the description field below this video. If you like the video, hit the like button, share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm Sandra from mysterywitchschool.com. Blessed be.